if we say furi kaburi, that's technically wrong because we say a too strong F.
Yeah, I mean, when we say when we say in our European context, when we say furi kaburi, then we should be pronouncing it. Hang on, it's difficult to throw out with my English head on. Furi kaburi, furi kaburi.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
In fact, that's
okay.
an interesting observation, Simon. So in the word furi kaburi, at the end of it we have kaburi. Bu is a hardening of fu.
Yeah.
It's basically the same character, but with two little
Yeah,
dots.
yeah.
So it's
Yes.
harder. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing I was wondering is that the particle wa, like watashi wa,
Yes.
that one is, but it's spelled with the ha character,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Let me just go over to there now. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Simon. Where is wa ha? Yeah. So when we say watashi wa, we don't use. Sorry, I need to move this. We don't use this one. We use ha. And there's, Simon, do you know the other inconsistency in hiragana? There's one more.
Oh.
Did you read it? No? Okay. When we say instead of ni, so if we want to say Tokyo ni ikimasu, we can also say Tokyo ikimasu. That isn't this here, it's this he here, but it's pronounced but it's written sorry, it's written he, it's pronounced yeah.
But
Sorry, did somebody else have a question?
Thank you very much.
No problem, no problem. David, you okay?
Is wa used at all, the wa character?
Yeah, so if you're writing watashi in hiragana, this is absolutely wa, not ha.
But I mean, it's a particle anyway.
I'm trying to think if there's Jock, can you remember any particles that you've got wa in them? No, that's toha.
Not really.
No, I can't think of any grammar in particular which would be written with wa.
The dewa is deha.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so when we say dewa arimasen, that's also deha arimasen. I mean, it probably crops up. Konnichiwa is also that. No, off the top of my head, I can't remember. Can't think of any. But if you're writing watashi, lots of kanji is slowly being lost actually even by Japanese people, and many people write lots of kanji in hiragana now. So you might sometimes find watashi wa, but watashi written with hiragana. Yeah. Just while we're here, guys, let me just quickly make a note of how many people. 14 of us tonight. Okay. Right, let me go over to the screen again. It's just there. Okay. So, so the bit that I want to really draw your attention to is when we're looking at the group 1 verbs, and we're looking at the infinitives. So we're looking at the dictionary plain form like ao, kaku. Which ones do you know already? Maybe none of these, unless you've learnt them. You can see that the last syllable, u, ku, gu, su, tsu, nu, bu, really hu, mu, and ru, are all in this line just here, the u line. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Is my red pointer visible, by the way?
Yes.
It is. Okay, good. So they're all on this line. So that's the infinitive. When we want to change the group 1 verbs from the infinitive to the mass form, all that happens is we shift up to this line here. Oops, sorry. We shift up to this line here as it goes from u into the e line, ku to ki. If it was gu, like oyogu, meaning to swim, it moves from gu to gi. Su becomes shi, tsu becomes chi, nu, ni, bu. There isn't a verb which finishes with fu. There's only one that finishes with bu. That becomes bi. Mu becomes mi. Ru becomes ri. So Let me just expand your grid a bit for a second, guys. So, Manuel, how would you say, what would be the word to meet, which is ao? How would you say this in the mass form?
Aimasu.
Yeah, exactly. Aimasu. Aimasu. Tom, how would you say kaku, meaning to write, in the mass form?
Kakimasu.
Yes. Aga, how would you say oyogu, meaning to swim, in the mass form?
Oyogimasu.
Yes, oyogimasu. Joel, osu, meaning to push, how would you say this in the mass form?
押します。
Yep. Who else is there? Sorry, I can only see a few of you. Let me see. Pukash, how would you put matsu, meaning to wait, into the mass form?
待ちます。
Yes, machimasu. Beatrice, how would you put shinu, meaning to die, into the mass form?
死にます。
Yes. Oliverio, how would you put yobu, meaning to call somebody, like I will call you, into the mass form?
呼びます。
Yes, yobimasu. Jock, I know you know this one, obviously. How would you put yomu into the mass form?
Yomimasu.
Good. And Taya, kairu, meaning to return. How would you put that into the mass form?
Kaerimasu.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I'm going to hide this now so we can do a bit of practice.
Andy, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
With oyogu, so you have gu with the G.
Yes.
It also changes to a ki. It turns into oyoji or oyoki.
Oyogi. So obviously it's pronounced oyogi. Oyogi. Yeah. So I'm going to try and find a similar example here. I think there was one. No, maybe I can't find one.
Yobo.
So, sorry.
The yobo is an example.
Oh, it is. Yeah,
has a-
exactly. Yeah, good point. Yeah. So yobu, for example. So this wouldn't be yofu. This would be yobu with a fu with two little tens to make it hard to yobu. That would similarly change to yobimas, not yohimas. Yeah.
Thank you.
So if there's a hardening, or I don't know if what is called a hardening or a softening, the two little tens, that will be retained when you change it into the mass form. Is that fairly clear, guys?
Dakuten.
What's it called, David? Dakuten.
Dakuten.
Thank you,
Yep.
Dakuten. Yeah,
And a
thank you.
little circle is hand Dakuten.
And Dakuten, right? Thank you. Okay, let's do some practice then. So those of you that had their hands up before we finished that last session, could you put your hands back up again, please? So Alessio, how would you say next week I will meet Andy?
来週、エンディさんに、because it's
Good. Yeah.
会います。
Good. That's it. 来週 Andy-san ni aimasu. Perfect. Thanks, Alessio. Simon, how would you say next month I will write a book?
Okay, next month. 来月
The word book
I don't know the book.
Okay, so the word book is the same character which is used in the word nihon, meaning Japan. It's hon, this word,
Hon.
which means moto. It looks like a tree with a bar at the bottom of it. This is moto and hon. So it's the same word for
Yeah,
book. Yeah,
okay.
hon, nihon.
So 来月本を書きます.
Yeah, good. Aigetsu, hon or kakimasu. Andre, how would you say next week I will swim? Let me test your Japanese. I will swim in the sea every day.
来週毎日海で泳ぎます。
Perfect, yeah. Laishu mainichi umi de oyogimasu. So the word for sea is umi. And as you heard Andre say, if you mark a location with there, it marks a location where something is going to happen. Not somewhere you're going to, that's ni, or somewhere you're looking towards, that's also ni. But if you're doing something somewhere, the particle to mark the location is there. Thanks, Andre. Who else? Aga. Akasata. Osu. How would you say just something simple like, now I will push this door. Now I will push this door.
How is door?
You can just say door.
Okay. 今、ドアを押します。
Yeah, exactly. Ima door o oshimasu. Good. Thanks, Aka. And Joel, akasata. How would you say, I will wait for the train? So the word train is densha, and it's also an object, so you can mark it with the normal particle for marking objects.
電車を、待ちます。
Yes, exactly. Densha o machimasu. Perfect. Thanks, Joel. Okay, I think everybody's hands are down now. So can I ask you all to raise your hands again, please? in the digital blue fashion, if you would. Got it, Jock?
I've lost the dots.
I think you have to tap the screen or something, don't you guys?
Top right.
Thanks, David. Top right of the screen,
Top
Jock.
right.
Yeah.
No.
Do you have to tap the screen, guys?
Bottom
Yeah,
left.
Oh, bottom left. I know it was bottom left, top right.
But your head's in the way.
Sorry, David. It just means he's got the phone upside down.
Yeah, just thinking that.
No.
Okay, it doesn't matter. I can remember you, Jock. Akasata na. David, how would you say, I won't die tomorrow? I won't die tomorrow.
明日死にません?
Yeah, exactly. Ashita shinimasen. Ashita shinimasen. So while you're here, David, how would you also say, I died yesterday?
昨日しました.
One more time. Kino.
昨日死にました.
Yes, exactly. Kino shinimashita. Kino shinimashita. Good. Thanks, David.
Mr. Syllable.
Manuel, how do you say akasatana? I will call you next week. I will call you next week. So you can say, I will call Andy next week, for example, so that you don't use anata.
来週、アンディさんを呼びます。
Can you say it again? Sorry, you've got a bit of interference.
呼びます。
Yobimasu, yeah. 来週、Andy-sanを呼びます. Great. Tom, how do you say akasatanaha ma akasatanaha ma mu? How would you say, next year I will read a book every month? Next year I will read a book every month.
来年 for year?
来年. 来年. Yeah.
Every month. 毎月.
Okay.
読みます.
And if you say you're going to read a book, remember the book?
Reading is 本を読みます.
Perfect. Good. One more time.
本を読みます.
Can you say the whole sentence one more time?
来年毎月本を読みます.
Yes, good. So, Jock, while you're here, can I just consult with you something about Japanese? I seem to remember, I've told everybody so far that although maigetsu is grammatically correct, generally everybody in Japan says maitsuki. Is that consistently true? Do you know?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Sounds clumsy otherwise.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. So Tom, it's okay because you would be, if you said Maigetsu, you would be completely understood. Everybody would understand you because they obviously think in kanji to a certain degree. But Maitsuki is the best way to say this. So can you say the sentence one more time, please?
Rainen, Maitsuki, hon o yomimasu.
Yes, good. Rainen, Maitsuki, hon o yomimasu. Great, thank you. Thanks, Tom. Aga satanaha mayara. How would you say, tomorrow I will return to Poland? Actually, how about this? Let's throw you into the tiger's nest. How would you say, tomorrow I will not return to Poland?
明日ポランドに帰りません。
Yes, 明日ポーランドに帰りません. As that's quite an easy one, how would you say, I returned to, whatever the name of your hometown is, to Wrocław yesterday. I returned to Wrocław yesterday.
昨日、ブロツワーに帰りました。
Yes, exactly. 昨日、Wrocławに帰りました. Great, thanks, Aga. That's it. We've worked through all of those groups. Let's go back to the screen again. Oh, sorry, guys. Any questions before we move on? Is everybody okay? Lukasz, dozo.
Did I miss something, or everybody just knows so many Japanese words?
I don't think so. Which ones feel like they're new to you?
Like swim.
This was something I only introduced today. In fact, I only wrote it on that. I changed the slide and that document today after Piotr reminded me that I hadn't included anything for gu. So although it kind of falls in the ku category, gu and shinu, nu, the new category, I hadn't included. So I wrote that in today. That's all. So you probably just missed it on there. Yeah.
Grazie.
Prego, prego. Any other questions, guys? Okay, let's go back to, what's this thing about holding ducks and dolls and things up to the screen? Let's see, here we go.
That's me. It's got a mind of its own.
Okay, right. Okay, so changing these into the mass form isn't too difficult. We can just see that we move it up from the U line to the E line. But as you guys have picked this up so quickly, and you have picked it up very quickly, we're going to do the te transformation. Now, let me unshare this a second. Can you, just so I know how fast to go, you can be honest with me, guys. Can you put your hand up if you didn't read the why imperative is imperative document? You actually raise your hand, physically raise your hand up if you didn't read that document. Taya and Joel. So Teo, Joel, do you know how to change in the te form in the group 1 verbs already? Yeah.
I'll try to remember.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Sure. Okay. So guys, if anybody gets lost, if anybody gets confused, just say, please stop. I don't understand. And then we'll go over it. So the easiest way to do this is to recognize that the verbs which are the same color will all change into the imperative te form in approximately the same way. So if I look at these red ones first, so the ones in the a, iu, e, o column, and the tsu column, and the ru column, they all change the same way. You take off the u at the end, or the tsu, or the ru. You cut this off, and you put a hard te, So to meet, if you say, please meet me, you would say, watashi ni atte kudasai. Watashi ni atte kudasai. I'm emphasizing this double T because I want you to also recognize that it's a hard double T, not just a single ate. It's atte, like you're hitting it twice. Atte. Okay. So let me just close this a second. So let's see who's got the hand up. Joel, how would you say, please wait? Please wait.
ちょっと待ってください。
Yeah, exactly. That means please wait a little bit. ちょっと待ってください or just 待ってください. 待ってください. So the word to stand is tatsu. This is the infinitive, tatsu. So Beatrice, how would you say please stand?
立ってください。
Excellent. 立ってください. 立ってください. Yeah. In fact, I think all of you know this word already, tatsu, because you probably know the word tachiwaza, standing form. So tachi is tatsu turned into the mass form, tachiwaza, tachimasu, I will stand up. Tatte kudasai, please stand up. Okay, and Alessio. So the verbs which fall into the ru column, so kaerimasu, for example, also are marked with double T, E at the end, with a hard T. So how would you say, please go home? Please go home.
帰ってください。ください。
Yeah, exactly. 帰ってください. 帰ってください。
帰ってください。
Yeah, perfect. 帰ってください. Great, thanks, Alessio. Okay, let's go back to that screen again. So that's those three. They all follow this t-t-e format, t-t-e. Okay, and then this group here, which is basically the same group, just with the handaku, was it? Oh, rendaku, Dave. Was it David?
Dakuten.
Oh, sorry, dakuten.
Rendaku is when it's a ku to gu.
Yeah, yeah. So this dakuten is just the same transformation, really. This is transformed by turning the last syllable, the ku, into ite, and the gu becomes ide. So ku is ite, ite, and gu is ide. Okay.
Dakuten.
Haha. So Asha, how would you say? We're going to. Hello. Oh, my phone's working. Sorry, it's Louis. Let me just turn. So Aga, how would you say? I'll introduce some new vocabulary for you. But how would you say? Please write my name. So the word name is almost the same in English as it is in Japanese, and it's namae, 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 namae. So how would you say, please write my name?
私の名前を書いてください。
Perfect. 私の名前を書いてください. Good. And while you're here, Asha, how would you also say?
I'm not Asha.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I thought I'd ask Asha. I thought Asha sounded a bit like Aga. Sorry. This question's for Asha. Asha. Hi, Asha. Can you unmute yourself and move closer to the microphone? So can you just answer the question that I just asked? Please say, please write my name.
Like Aga said, watashi no namae kide kudasai.
Sorry, can you say the vowel again?
Right. I don't remember right. Kaide kudasai.
So the infinitive was kaku. So the ku disappears and is replaced with ite, so it becomes.
Don't remember. Sorry.
Okay, that's right. Let me show you the screen so you can see the word, and then you can change it into the right form. So there's kaku, and you need to replace the ku with this bit, ite. So it would become kaite, exactly. Kaite kudasai. So can you say the whole sentence again?
Right. Watashi no namae kaite kudasai.
Good. And what would be after namae? How would you mark the object?
O.
Yes. So can you say the whole sentence again?
Okay. Watashi no namae o kaite kudasai.
Perfect. Watashi no namae o kaite kudasai. While you're still here, let's do the same thing with the gu sound. So the verb I've chosen to end with gu is to swim, or yogu, or yogu. how would you say, please swim over there? Please swim over there. Let's do it bit by bit. So over there would be, do you remember?
With ano.
Nearly. So koko is here, soko is where you are, and then over there is asoko. Asoko. Yeah.
Okay. Asoko ni oige kudasai.
Okay, so that would mean please swim over to there, which is you might say this is grammatically correct. But if you want to say please swim over there, instead of saying ni, you want the activity article, which is, do you remember? How to mark a location where you're doing something.
It was yesterday.
No, it was today.
Today?
Yeah, so it was de. So you would say asoko de. Yeah. So can you say the whole sentence one more time?
Asoko de o
It's okay.
No, I'm sorry. No,
That's okay. So it's oyogu, and we replace gu with ide. Oyogu, replace gu with ide.
Asoko de oyoide kudasai.
Perfect. Exactly this. Yeah. Asoko de oyoide kudasai. Asoko de oyoide kudasai. Great. Thanks, Sasha.
Thank you.
Okay. Was it anyone? Let me just share the screen again. Let's have a look back. Yeah. So this is the only group which gets replaced with ite and ide. Okay. All right. The next group that sits by itself is those verbs which finish with su, osu, kaisu, sasu. There's lots of verbs like this. And su simply becomes shte, shte, shte. Okay? Easy to remember. In fact, it's pretty close to how you would change the mass form. You can almost take the mass off of it and just put te on the end. So, Taya, how would you say, please push here?
Mm, これを押してください。
Yeah, also that's please push this. That's fine. But how about please push here?
ここで押してください。
Yeah, ここで押してください. Good. Yeah. While you're here, let's give you a couple more. So you actually osu you already knew, didn't you? Yeah. Where does it come in for those people that do Jodo? Oshizume. So oshizume. This is oshi meaning push in oshizume. How about
comes in here?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Sasu means to stab. Means to stab somebody. So how would you say go and stab that person over there? We use this quite frequently in the BKA, don't we, Joe?
Especially in the back.
In the back.
Exactly.
Okay. Go and stab that person over there, you said.
Yeah, that's it.
あの人を刺してください。
Perfect. あの人を刺してください. 刺してください. Yeah, good, good. Actually, all of you know, if you do iaido, I think all of you know this verb sasu as well. So when you put your sword in your obi, which is a little bit like a stabbing action, this is called sashinari. So you put you sashi your sword, sashimasu. So this is also a word that you guys all know. So you know how to say katana o sashite kudasai. Please put your sword in your obi. Okay, great. Thanks, Taya. That's pretty
Can
exciting.
I didn't quite follow, but that person over there, what was that part in there?
Yeah, so hito is the word for person, hito.
Okay.
And then Taya put the prefix ano to make it the one over there, ano. So kono, this person, kono hito, this person, sono hito, that person, ano hito, that person over there. Okay, let's go back onto the screen again. So the only group we've got left is this purple group in the middle. And all of these also change the same way. They all finish with, so let me just show you again, shinu, yobu, and yomu. Again, you just take the nu off the end, or the bu off the end, or the mu off the end, and they all finish with nde, nde. So shinu becomes shinde, yobu becomes yonde, and yomu, meaning read, also becomes yonde. It's pronounced exactly the same way. You'll have to assume that the person you're speaking to realizes that you're talking about reading rather than calling. I'm pretty sure they'll understand. But these just finish nde. Okay, shinu, yobu, yondu, yomu. So, Łukasz, how'd you say, Andy, just die tomorrow, will you? You're muted, Łukasz.
Andy さん、明日
Please die.
を呼んでください。死んでください。
Okay, so you don't need any or because there's no objects in this. You
Andy
just say-
さん、明日死んでください。
Exactly. Andy-san, shinde kudasai. Good. Simon, how would you say, please call me next week?
Yeah, okay, what was next week again?
So,
来週私を呼んでください。
perfect, yeah. Raishu watashi o yonde kudasai. Great, thank you. And Andre, how would you say, next month, please read this book?
来月このエロ本を読んでください。
Not porn book, I just said this book.
来月この本を読んでください。
Perfect, yeah. 来月この本を読んでください. Good, thanks, Andre. Okay, so we now know, let me just share the screen again. We now know how to change all of these into the te form, into the imperative. And what I would recommend, because I did this the same way, I just memorized one example from each group. Just have that fixed in your mind. So if we change from yomu, meaning to read, to drink, which is nomu, then if I remember this one, then I can remember how to say, please drink, nonde kudasai. Matsu, if I memorize this, then I can remember tatsu, katsu, meaning to win, akonokachi, shinonokachi. This is the word katsu, meaning to win, to have victory. It's another word you know, katsu. Osu, sasu, kaisu. This is very easy to remember as well. All pretty easy, really. There is, just before we finish, we've got 5 minutes left. Before we finish, there are 2 exceptions to this rule. And those 2 exceptions are to go and to say. The word to go, of course, is, Simon, remember the word to go?
行きます。行け。What's the infinitive? 行ける。
Just iku.
No.
Just iku.
行く。
Yeah. So if you followed the same rule for ku, then this would become ite. Ite.
Yeah.
But this is, for some reason, awkward for natural Japanese speaking. I don't know the exact reason why. I suspect that it sounds too much like other verbs. So instead of saying ite to say please go, you say itte. It becomes this one, itte. Itte kudasai. Okay? And then the word to say is, the infinitive is you, which is, so the mass form is imas, to say. Now, if you were to say itte kudasai, which is the correct way of turning it from the infinitive, it will be in this group here, into the te form, then this would be understood. This is grammatically correct to say itte kudasai, please say. But it sounds exactly the same as please go. So in the last, I think in the last 15 to 20 years, maybe it was there before, I don't know, but I didn't notice it before. People have started saying yutte kudasai, to say please say, yutte kudasai, to make that distinction between please go and please say, yutte kudasai. Let me just stop sharing a second so I can see. Jock, do you remember when you were in Japan hundreds of years ago before electricity? Do you remember them saying yutte kudasai?
No, no, not at all.
So I think it's a fairly recent change to the language, isn't it?
It's new to me.
Yeah, I think I heard it for the first time around 2012, actually. Up to that point, I always said itte kudasai, but people started saying yutte kudasai to make that distinction.
Okay, let's write that down.
Yeah, yutte kudasai.
If you write that with hiragana, then do you write I and U? Or
to be honest, I think if you're going to write it hiragana, you should write it correctly, itte, because it will be clear from the context of the rest of the sentence that you're saying, please say. Yeah, and as you know, it would probably be written in kanji anyway, so it would be clear that you were saying, please say. Yeah.
Hi.
Guys, do you want to practice these a little bit more, or do you feel comfortable with the transformation of the te form? Hands up if you want to practice a bit more in the last 5 minutes or so. Put your hands up with your literal hands. Or if you want to carry on and do something else new, put your hands up. Something new? Cool. Okay, good. Good.
I have one more question.
Yeah, sure.
So the group 2 verbs, they end with ru. And so you also have group 1 verbs that ending on ru. So how to determine if it's the ru verb is a group 1 or group 2 verb?
So the hard
there
answer is that the trick, there is a kind of trick, Tom. Let me just come back to the hiragana screen a second. All group 2 verbs before the ru will have e. It might be ke, it might be be, like tabemasu. So if before the ru, if there is the immediate character, the immediate letter before ru, if it's e, then it's definitely group 2. It's definitely group 2. But apart from that, you have to learn those verbs, unfortunately, to see whether or not. So kairu. Sorry, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sorry, there is that exception. Sorry, there's a better rule. Hang on a second. I've got to remember what it is though. Let me come back to, rather than me sitting here trying to remember it. There is a rule for helping, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. If you know the mass form, then it's easy. So if before mass, if it's an e before mass, like tabemasu, then you can be sure that